Hi and welcome to this Blueberry Markets video update with me, John Kibler, Head Currency Analyst. In this video we're going to go over the Forex market wrap. We're going to highlight the news that occurred this week as well as some of the opportunities. Obviously it was a high impact news week and we had lots of data from central banks and central bank leaders, and the market really ranged this week. And you could see that from sort of the data sets that we had. Now, Federal Reserve Chairman Powell was testifying this week, and that really rocked the markets on Tuesday when Powell started to discuss the fact that the Federal Reserve could begin to tighten again at a faster pace. The dollar really surged off the back of that, and then the next day, Federal Chair Powell tried to play down those comments and basically backtrack those comments because of the reaction that it had in the market. Now, then sort of attentions after that were kind of diverted to the non-farm payroll data. Obviously, the reason why Federal Reserve Chairman Powell was talking about faster rates was one of those was that the labour market was still strong. So they wanted to see the jobs number come down a bit, or at least see some data that would reflect that. However, we did actually see a data release that beat estimates once again. So we had a revision down to 504k jobs. However, we were expecting 224,000. We got 311,000 for the month of February. So again, we kind of beat estimates there. However, what we saw change was the average hourly earnings came down from 0.3% to 0.2%. And the unemployment rate rose from 3.4% to 3.6%. So the dollar started to weaken off the back of that, and that's more like what the data wants to come out like from the Federal Reserve's point of view. They want to see that type of data with the unemployment going higher as well. Now, in other data, we had the RBA hike interest rates from 3.35% to 3.6%. The RBA talking about the potential to pause rates in the next meeting, and following the footsteps really of the Bank of Canada, who have paused rates at 4.5%. Going on to some charts of interest this week, we talked about Euro, US dollar. We talked about potentially seeing price come down into the 1.05 handle. Didn't quite make it there. In fact, we came very close to testing the zone that we had marked out, as well as this trend line support. And obviously this was Tuesday where Powell started to talk about hiking rates at a faster pace. Euro dollar fell to the downside. He then backtracked, and then the NFP data came out and price rallied back to the upside. So very much a mixed week for Euro dollar. If, however, the dollar weakness is going to continue, we could see a move up to the 1.0775. Going on to pound US dollar then. So we expected pound US dollar to range this week, or at least kind of break down in a particular direction. We expected the dollar to be a bit stronger this week, so we were looking for breaks to the downside, and we did eventually get that break. I was looking to see if price would travel up to around the 1.2125 beforehand to look for the opportunity to the downside, but we didn't quite get that in the end. Price kind of came into the middle of the range, consolidated, then we drove to the downside, breaking through these lows. We talked about 118.50 being the area of support. We kind of dropped a little bit below that, came into the 118 handle, and then price continued to push after that. Again, non-farm payroll data really driving price up to the range highs. Going on to dollar yen then. So dollar yen was of interest to us this week. We like the idea of being long towards 137.75. Once price reached this resistance, we then saw price turn over. Obviously then NFP data dropped price towards the 134.50, where price at the moment is finding support. If it does hold above 134.50, then we could see some buyers stepping back in. If it doesn't and we break down, we could see a move down towards the 130.75. Finally then, gold. I was pretty certain that gold would come into the $1,800 level. We didn't quite get there in the end, unfortunately. Price came back and retested the lows here at around about the $1,805 level. Again, Powell backtracking on his statements, saw price of gold rally to the upside. NFP then backed that backtracking data or backtracking comments, and price of gold has since moved higher. So next stop for gold really is back into this level here around about the $18.75, maybe towards the $1900. I still feel from a longer term point of view, if the Fed are going to have to start hiking rates for longer, that's still going to put a bit of pressure on the price of gold, and I still think that we could still see some downside to the price. 1730 could be on the cards still. So just to make you aware that this rally may be short-lived at the moment. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed all the content this week. If you did, leave this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the YouTube channel to see some more Forex trading content. And I'll speak to you in the next video.